The purpose of religion. Hi. I had somebody who is, well, I expected more from in this regard. Let me try to be nebulous or try to be specific and precise, but let me try to be general. Who basically was, when I was trying to identify with Christian morals and attitudes and saying I was coming from a certain perspective, this person says, well, you're not that good, Mark, you just don't measure up. And in the Christian religion, you are not supposed to compare yourselves by yourselves. The Bible says if you compare yourself by yourself, if you compare yourselves by yourselves, that's not wise. Those who compare themselves by themselves are not wise, or then it's foolish to do that. Whomever you compare yourself to. A lot of times when we talk about the purpose of religion, people feel that they should compare themselves to everybody else, and you see that all the time. And I have criticized these people because they are giving a false impression of what I consider to be Christianity. When you talk about the purpose of religion, whether it be Hinduism, or just generally from what I know about these religions, Buddhism, whatever, you're trying to become a better person. It's supposed to make you better or make you attain something. In Buddhism, and I don't feel like I'm an authority on Buddhism to speak authoritatively, and I also feel like it's a kind of allophagic kind of reference. I don't want to stick my nose into something and start tongue lashing people. So it's not a religion I'm familiar with, and really you don't know where people are coming from completely, because you don't know what's in their heart completely, but you do know what's in their actions and what comes out of their mouth. Jesus said as much. But I'm trying not to jump ahead too far, because people think that I don't have a connection when I do that. They're connecting one thing to another thing, and old girl. And so, with Buddhism, you're trying to attain enlightenment to a higher state. With Christianity, it talks about getting to the fullness of Christ. I did know a Muslim. I've known several Muslims, and they were from the Middle East. And actually, on a little-known part of the Middle East, there were, just speaking generally, they were black Muslims from southern Saudi Arabia. That's for all you people that like geography and peoples and where they live and different types of peoples. But and one guy was actually half African and half what was Omani, actually, if you want to know where it was from. And he said, I want to try to be a better person. And whether we have what we call religion or not, you like to think that hopefully we have morals. And whether people feel they will attain something, this, that, or the other through morals, that the idea is that's a worthy attainment. So he was trying to be a better Muslim. And I heard somebody on here, political commentator, and he says, yeah, I'm a Christian. I may not be the best Christian, but I'm a Christian. And so it's the same purpose in Christianity, the same general trajectory, that you're aiming for higher. And so if we take God out of the picture and we say, well, I want to be a better person, the question is what is going to make you a better person? From experience, we basically see that people, there was a friend of mine, somebody I knew, and she said, you know, yeah, hey, Mark, I haven't changed. And I said, yeah, you haven't changed. And she considered herself a Christian, and there was really nothing that was bringing her enlightenment or whatever. There was nothing bringing her to be a better person. And I see this time after time in Christianity. My question is, if you do throw out Christianity, you know, what are you going to pursue? What religion are you going to pursue, or what philosophy are you going to pursue to make your goal of being a better person? Or is it just something you feel you should be and you don't get there? Well, I feel that if you lay out Christianity, getting to that, and you see that we're supposed to be Christ-like and all the good things Christ did, and you're saying either Christianity is a failure or people aren't either able or willing to live it. But if there is empowerment into living that, then where is it? Whether it be Christianity or another religion, how do we get to the point where we're living on a more fulfilled life? How do we get to the point where we're treating people better? Because we all have this problem, and I ask, what is the solution? We all have the problem of, well, I shouldn't have done that, or they shouldn't have done that. My thoughts, my beliefs are that once you get yourself attuned to a moral life, then you're not acting out to try to rectify everybody else. You're not trying to balance your moral lack with blaming other people. So my question is there such attainment in Christianity where you are living at peace with yourself, or are you warring with what you desire to be, whether it be Christianity or whatever? What is going to change you to be living a moral or more realized life? As far as, you know, it's kind of like like Nazi Germany. They did this in Nazi Germany. They take the prisoners, Jews supposedly, and I believe they were Jews, and also others, and they would say, okay, now I want you to get together, you know, Ukrainians, it was especially Ukrainians, Jews, and others, gypsies, and they'd say, okay, we don't like you. That's what they said, the Nazis said, and what we want you to do is we want you to dig a hole. And they had an electric fence all the way around. And they said, we want you to dig a hole, and just dig a hole and get all the dirt out. And they said, okay, well, you know, we don't like where we are, we don't like our conditions, we don't like how we're being treated, and but at least we're doing something. At least we're making, we're doing something. If it's not for us, maybe it's for the Nazis, or maybe we're just digging our own graves or whatever. And they'd say, okay, dig the hole, and say, okay, we're digging a hole, we're achieving, let's get to the bottom, let's get to where we're supposed to dig, the depth we're supposed to dig in the hole. And they'd say, okay, now that you've dug a hole, fill it up. And then they'd go to the other side of the camp and say, okay, dig a hole, fill it up. And it didn't take too long where some of the prisoners would go crazy, and they'd run to the electric fence. Well, this is what I hear, this is a story, supposed to be history. And supposedly history, and they'd run to the fence and electrocute themselves because they had no purpose in life. So that, you know, when people gain money, when people gain friends, and they have to have, you know, this certain house, and they have to have this certain car, and they have to have this beast, if people don't even question You know, instead of looking to the fact that, well, you know, do I really, is this something that's, how much is this really going to benefit me? How much is this going to, how much am I really going to be happy by getting this? What is this going to do for me? They say, just, you know, surround me with music, which I love music. Surround me with movies, surround me with TV. And just, I don't want to think about life. And people's behavior, you know, they got plenty of money. They get more and more money. I mean, not everybody, but there are people that do that. People that go from sexual partner, sexual partner, sexual partner, and such and such. And you say, okay, what is your, what are you gaining anything, or are you just digging a hole and filling it back up? So that would be my point. You know, are we benefiting?